architect's perspiring brow if you try to cite the fourth pillar to me one more time.
Scientific advancement should not come at the cost of the grace and dignity of innocent lives. That is all I am saying. Armed conflicts are not the inevitability you are making them out to be, Anya, but rather the result of a populace failing to adhere to scientism's stoic imperative.
Oh, and I suppose we're going to pretend the second pillar doesn't exist? I must have just imagined reading Alfred Long's 75 thesis on determinism then.
Anchorites. Be warned. Any conversation with these two may prove pedantic.
You're in luck. I just finished my third reread of it. Chapter 47 is a real treat. When we're finished speaking, I'll put it in the collection drawer, but do take care with it, especially around the bath. We lose more good books that way. The anchor hold is proofed against sound to allow us to conduct our work in quietude, hence the speaker unit you're using now. What happens outside is of no concern to us.
This calling is not something you just sign up for, especially when you haven't even familiarized yourself with basic anchor hold etiquette.
Actually, an outside opinion might be useful at this juncture. Our current topic is whether war is ever justified. For the sake of time, please keep your answer brief.
But what if widespread suffering is already taking place?
Then its causes should be observed, quantified, and a non-violent solution found. You do not extinguish a fire with more flame.
Tell that to the Protectorate.
We're going in circles again. If only we had access to the materials we requested, perhaps we could settle this debate.
Lack of a door, for starters.
You're currently standing outside of an anchor hold. My colleague and I have chosen to permanently enclose ourselves within this cell to lead a life of concentrated purpose. As anchorites of the Order, it is our duty to postulate on the universe's perplexities for the benefit of observers. In this way, we advance the plan through empirical knowledge. We observe periods of rest like all living creatures, but otherwise, yes. When in conversation, we welcome all to attend and learn.
We have privacy curtains. It's less trouble than you're making it out to be. Who's to say we haven't tried?
My colleague is joking. The answer to your question is simple. All anchorites undergo extensive testing before being admitted to such a calling. You might say we are compatible. Thank you. That is the intention.
I need the book Only Real Numbers, The Casualties of Appeasement by Exemplar Kwong. Second edition, not the first. That's important.
And I require Archivist Mahler's dissertation on de-escalation theory. You should be able to locate both pieces of scholarship in the scriptorium. I'd also caution against borrowing additional titles. The scribes are absolute fusspots when their work goes missing. More or less, Seer Wiley put the question to us last week. Naturally, the problem of interference versus non-interference led us to a broader discussion of war's overall necessity. Oddly, he has not returned for his solution, which is just as well since we remain divided on an answer, though I'm confident we'll get there.
Augustine? Sure. She's got a mind for provocative hypotheticals. Asked a lot more interesting questions than we normally get.
I will add it has been some time since we last saw her. Not since before the schism, in fact. Why do you ask?
Augustine was obsessed with the rift. She wanted to know all the potential routes the Order might take to deal with it. We explained that the rift is an aberration of the plan's natural order, corrupting time and space and creating uncertainty. Consequently, all efforts should be made to close it.
Apologies, but gossip doesn't fall under our purview. We've secluded ourselves here to avoid such distractions, so I would thank you to exclude us from any remote drama. I'm sure I have no notion of what you're referring to.
Good for him. About time someone put theory into application.
What my colleague means is Landon Wiley is among our most gifted and dedicated seers. Whatever actions he's taken must be in service of the plan. I do hope no one's been hurt, though. I see. That is distressing to hear. But as we in the Order like to say, the plan actuates by deliberate means. Let us hope this conflict resolves itself soon. Much appreciated. We'll present our final arguments once you've returned with the research.
Hold position.
Mobilizing.
Follow the plan.
You suffered extensive damage, Commander. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Look, I know this ain't gonna get to the abbot, but I have complaints that need registering anyhow. This monastery's too big for the staff we've got, and it sure seems like the scienticians and theorists here ain't fixated on keeping neat. I might just be a novice, but at 73 years of age, I have enough self-respect that I shouldn't be picking up another body's lavation towels. Still, ain't as bad as it was in Auntie's choice, but that don't mean it's good. I just ask you folks to remember that there's more of
Investigating hostile intentions. Add this up.
Nowhere near as interesting as the taxidermied cross-sections displaying their internal organs I made when I was a child.
Engineering plan. Set your scopes for combatant analysis. Go for torpification.
A lot. Isn't this fancy? Guessing these are the abbot's quarters. I see the good abbot's intent on distracting himself from the misery of existence with worldly goods. Never works.
If not millennia. The blood spilled today is merely correctional ink, stamped onto a test of order aptitude. And whom do we blame when a student fails? The stalwart agent arrives. I need more time to finish my work, so I've prepared a choice for you. The hostages in the card press before you will die unless you intervene. If you go through the door on the right, you'll find the means to save them by solving a simple puzzle. Leave through the other door, however, and they will die, screaming in abject terror. But how could you call yourself an Earth Directorate agent if you allowed that to transpire?
I know a stall tactic when I see one. Calls on you, though, dear.
Definitely not. We should be the only ones killing hostages around here.
Like the cut of your jib. Hard way it is, then.
Praise high probability. Wiley trapped us here. He let some others go, but didn't even give us the chance to surrender. He's lost his wits. What's going on about this? Where are you going? Don't leave us! Come back!
Normally I'd suggest picking the lock on that safe, but it looks to be rigged to that ridiculous puzzle up above.
Threat detected.
Precision is this. After all, garbage value input produces garbage value out.
Presumably some random element.
Combatant scan. Consider self charging.
Diminishing rate!
Locking them down. Mitigating the threat.
Presuming hostilities as planned.
Regressing!
What?
Moving up to improve it.
I have a fix on their...
Refilling me.
Recharge for me!
Causation determined.
Check your scopes for me. Way to get the ball rolling.
Look, they obviously meant for this to waste our time. Let's just find a way to kill the hostages so we can move on.
See? Didn't I tell you our friend would be back? Hurry! Disable the court press machine!
I still say it would have saved time for us to just kill the hostages ourselves.
Thank you, stranger. We should be okay here for now. Okay, Wiley.
Excellent timing. We're nearly finished reviewing the materials you brought us. Oh, well now, this is unexpected. The arguments in this text seem to have highlighted a teleological flaw I fear my own argument shares.
You too, huh?
Under certain conditions, de-escalation becomes impossible, leading to negative outcomes, including outright annihilation. An annihilated entity cannot advance the plan.
But maybe annihilation itself serves a purpose we're simply unaware of. You were right before. Participating in a war only produces an entropic feedback loop.
I see someone has been reading On the Origin of Sprats. It has that effect on people.
Mental carceration and the potential unreality of conscious experience adds an interesting dimension to the argument. It's certainly worth exploring.
Perhaps later. For now, I feel we should reward our guest with their choice of reward, given the idiosyncratic nature of his conclusion. Armor or weapon? Very well. You can retrieve it from the same drawer where you deposited our research materials. We appreciate your time. If you have a spare 4 hours, feel free to stay and observe our period of silent, sustained reading. Otherwise, until we next confer.